Hello guys, I'm back again with the story. So in the previous chapter we saw how Kate was dragging Emily and she told her mother that she wouldn't divorce Emily because now she wanted to see the regret to her mother's eyes. Then, she seated Emily in the car and drove away. The car didn't slow down. Kate drove like she was trying to escape something that had been chasing her for years. The road stretched endlessly ahead, headlights cutting through the night while the city lights blurred into streaks behind them. Beside her, Emily sat frozen. Her fingers trembled as she fumbled with the seatbelt before finally securing it. Even then, her body stayed stiff, pressed into the seat, as if the slightest movement might make things worse. The speed, the silence, the tension, it all pressed down on her chest. Her breathing turned uneven. Tears gathered slowly, then faster. She tried to stay quiet. But fear doesn't stay silent forever. Kate, her voice finally slipped out, small and shaking. Please, drive a little slower. I'm scared. For a brief second, Kate glanced at her. Emily looked fragile. Breakable. Like something that didn't belong in her world at all. That moment could have softened something. It didn't. Kate's grip tightened on the steering wheel. The car went faster. By the time the car stopped, the silence had turned suffocating. Kate pulled over sharply and killed the engine. The sudden quiet rang loudly in Emily's ears. Before she could even calm herself, Kate's voice cut through the air, cold, irritated, sharp enough to make her flinch. Accusations came one after another. About motives. About greed. About pretending. Emily tried to explain at first, but her words felt weak even to her own ears. The more she spoke, the more pointless it seemed. So she stopped. She sat there, small and quiet, taking everything in silence. Because that was what she had always done. Inside her heart lived a debt she could never repay. Kate's mother had once given her everything, a home, education, a name. For someone who had started with nothing, that kindness meant more than life itself. So when that same woman had asked her to marry Kate, how could she refuse? Even if it meant living beside someone who clearly didn't want her. Even if it meant loving someone who would never love her back. The rest of the drive passed in silence. Heavy. Endless. Until finally, the car stopped in front of a luxurious seaside villa. Soft lights lined the path. The distant sound of waves filled the night. It was peaceful, almost unreal. Kate stepped out first. She didn't wait. Emily followed quietly, her steps slow, careful, like she wasn't sure she was allowed to be there. She had nothing with her. No phone. No bag. Not even proper shoes. Just herself. Inside, the space felt too big. Too clean. Too distant. Emily stood awkwardly, her hands lightly gripping the edge of her dress, eyes wandering but never settling. Kate noticed. The way she shrank into herself. The way she didn't touch anything. It irritated her. Or maybe, it reminded her of something she didn't want to face. Later, Kate stepped out toward the pool when her phone rang. Her mother. At first, she tried to stay calm. Tried to sound indifferent. But the moment her mother began worrying about Emily, asking her to bring Emily back, something inside Kate cracked. That old feeling returned. Being second. Being unseen. Being less. Her voice turned sharp, words spilling out before she could stop them. Years of buried resentment surfaced all at once, raw and unfiltered. Even now, it was still the same. Her mother chose Emily. When the call ended, Kate stood still. Looking at her reflection in the water. Calm outside. Shattered inside. She wiped her tears quickly, almost angrily. Weakness was something she refused to accept. But pain doesn't disappear. It just looks for somewhere else to go. When Kate stepped back inside, her eyes immediately found Emily. Still quiet. Still small. Still there. And in that moment, all her anger, confusion, and hurt found somewhere to land. Emily. The balcony door slammed shut loudly. Emily flinched, turning around just in time. A strong hand grabbed her wrist. Ah! She was pulled forward and thrown onto the bed, the sudden force knocking the air out of her. Her dress shifted up slightly, and she quickly tried to fix it, her hands shaking. Kate. Her voice was barely there. Kate didn't respond right away. She stood over her for a second, then slowly leaned down, one knee pressing into the mattress, trapping her beneath. What? Kate asked quietly. Why do you look so scared? I don't understand. A faint smile curved on Kate's lips. Don't act like you don't know. Her hand brushed along Emily's arm, slowly moving upward, not gentle, not warm, just controlled. You wanted this, didn't you? She murmured. You tried so hard to marry me. Emily's eyes widened. No, that's not true. Kate leaned closer, her face just inches away. Now you have me. 3 whole days. Her breath touched Emily's skin. But look at you, she whispered. Why are you trembling? Emily turned her face away, her hands pressing weakly against Kate's shoulder. Please, don't. Kate's eyes darkened slightly. Instead of stopping, she grabbed Emily's chin and forced her to face her again. Isn't this what a wife should want? Her gaze dropped briefly to Emily's lips. Emily froze. Her eyes shut tightly, lips pressed together, her whole body trembling, waiting for something she didn't want but couldn't escape. Seconds passed. Nothing happened. Slowly, she opened her eyes. And her heart dropped. Kate was looking at her with nothing but disgust. A soft laugh escaped her lips as she straightened up. Huh, did you really think I was going to kiss you? Emily couldn't speak. Take a good look at yourself, Kate continued coldly. Do you actually believe someone like me would ever want someone like you? Each word hit harder than the last. I'd have to be completely out of my mind, or drunk enough not to see properly. Emily's fingers tightened around the bedsheet. And even then, Kate added with a smirk, I'm not sure I could go through with it. Silence fell. Heavy. Crushing. Kate turned and walked out without another glance. The door shut behind her. Emily didn't move. Not immediately. Her hand slowly pulled her dress back into place, as if trying to fix something much deeper than fabric. Then the tears came. Quiet at first. Then uncontrollable. She turned her face into the pillow, her body shaking as she tried to suppress the sound, but the pain didn't lessen. The room felt too big. Too empty. Too cold. Kate's words echoed again and again in her mind. Each time, they cut deeper. Emily had never expected love. She knew her place. She knew the distance between them. And yet, she had still hoped. Even just a little. Now, lying alone in that cold room, a quiet question formed in her heart. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just heavy. How much longer can she endure this, before she completely breaks? On the other side, inside the silent grand hall, Mrs. Isaiah collapsed onto the long velvet sofa. Her body felt weak in a way it hadn't for years. One trembling hand covered her face as her breathing turned uneven. The words her daughter had thrown at her, the pain in Kate's eyes, it all struck deeper than anything else ever had. It didn't just hurt. It reopened something she had buried for 20 years. And just like that, the past came back. 20 years ago, suspicion had slowly poisoned her heart. She had loved her husband deeply. But fear twisted that love into doubt. Every late return, every unexplained delay, it all built into something unbearable. Until one day, she gave in. She ordered a loyal servant couple to secretly follow him. She believed he was hiding another woman. Believed he had betrayed her. But he hadn't. Not even once. That night changed everything. On his way home, his car lost control. It spun violently and crashed directly into another vehicle following behind. That car carried Emily's parents. The impact was fatal. No one survived. 3 lives ended in an instant. And Mrs. Isaiah was left behind with the truth. She never truly grieved. She couldn't. The company was collapsing, responsibilities closing in from all sides. She had children to protect, a legacy to rebuild. So she buried her pain, put on strength like armor, and kept moving forward. But in doing so, she lost something she didn't even realize. Kate. Her youngest daughter grew up in the shadows of her absence. No comfort. No warmth. No mother's embrace when she needed it most. Those moments never happened. Or if they did, they were too few to remember. And then there was Emily. A child who had lost everything because of her mistake. So she gave her everything. Too much. Far too much. Every hug meant for guilt became distance for Kate. Every act of love pushed her own daughter further away. It wasn't until now that she understood. All her wealth, all her power, all her success, none of it could buy back what she had lost. And now, her daughter's heart was no longer whole. Meanwhile, Kate sat alone at the beach club. The ocean stretched endlessly before her, dark and quiet. Glass after glass of alcohol disappeared in her hands. She didn't even taste it anymore. She just needed something. Anything? To quiet the noise inside her head. 20 years. That emptiness had lived inside her for 20 years. No matter how strong she became, no matter how successful, it never filled that gap. A woman approached her. Confident. Bold. Her fingers brushed lightly against Kate's shoulder. Are you alone? Kate's reaction was instant. Sharp. Cold. She shoved the hand away without hesitation. Don't touch me. Her voice carried enough force to make the woman freeze. Leave. The woman quickly walked away. Kate exhaled, brushing her shoulder in irritation. But beneath that reaction was something deeper. She didn't want strangers. She didn't want empty closeness. What she wanted was something she had never been given. Understanding. With unsteady steps, she stood and turned back toward the villa. The moment she stepped inside, a soft, familiar scent greeted her. Emily. The room was dim. Quiet. Emily was asleep, curled slightly on the bed, her face peaceful in a way it had never been while awake. Kate stood there for a long time, just watching. Something shifted inside her. Something unstable. Then slowly, she moved closer, sat on the edge of the bed, and reached out. Her hand rested against Emily's waist. Warm. Soft. Real. That single touch broke something inside her. She pulled Emily closer. Firmly. Like she didn't want to let go. Emily stirred, her brows furrowing as she shifted in her sleep. Her hand moved weakly, trying to push away the unfamiliar closeness, but Kate held her in place. Kate, her voice was soft, confused. I'm here, Kate murmured, her voice low and unsteady. As awareness returned, Emily's body tensed. What are you doing? Fear slipped into her voice. Kate didn't give a clear answer. Instead, she leaned closer, her presence overwhelming, leaving no space between them. I'm taking what's mine, she said quietly. What followed wasn't gentle. It wasn't love. And it wasn't something either of them fully understood. Emily tried to resist at first, her hands pushing weakly, her voice trembling as she called Kate's name again. but the strength between them wasn't equal. Her resistance slowly faded. Not from acceptance, but from exhaustion. Kate wasn't acting out of simple desire. It was something deeper. Years of pain, anger, loneliness, all breaking through at once. Time blurred. The quiet room held everything. Confusion, tension, unspoken emotions. And when the night finally settled again into silence, there was no distance left between them. Morning came slowly. Emily woke with a heavy, unfamiliar feeling in her body. She stayed still at first, trying to understand. Then reality settled in. The disordered sheets, the faint marks, the lingering sensation she couldn't ignore. Last night wasn't a dream. She turned her head. The space beside her was empty. That emptiness hurt more than anything else. The sound of water came from the bathroom. Moments later, Kate stepped out, perfectly composed, as if nothing had happened. Cold. Distant. Untouched. Go take a shower, she said flatly. Just like that. Everything reset. Emily stood, but her body felt weak. She stumbled slightly. And for a brief second, Kate caught her. Their eyes met. Then Kate let go. Like it meant nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Emily stopped. Last night, I was drunk. A pause. Don't misunderstand it. The words landed quietly. But deeply. I just used what was there. Anyway, thanks. A faint, mocking smile followed. Emily said nothing. Because some pain doesn't come out as words. Later, by the pool, breakfast was served. Emily carefully arranged everything, her movements slow but precise. Her eyes scanned the dishes. Then paused. What now? Kate asked impatiently. Emily didn't answer directly. She moved one dish aside. Don't eat this yogurt, she said softly. It has nuts. She picked up another plate. I'll ask them to change it. Kate froze. And I already kept bread without peanut butter for you. Then Emily walked away. Kate's eyes remained on the table. On the food. On that quiet, unnoticed care. Something stirred inside her. Strange. Unfamiliar. A memory surfaced. Faint. Blurry. A small voice crying. Begging her not to die. Kate frowned. Was that real? Or something she chose to forget? Her jaw tightened. She pushed the feeling away. But this time, it didn't disappear completely. Because somewhere deep inside, something had already begun to change. It's the end of this part 4. I know it seems like Kate is not a good protagonist and always rude, but let's wait and see. Thanks for watching. Today's target is 75 likes and 20 comments. See ya soon.